bit of space like me, a yoga mat ideally, but a towel, fluffy carpet, rug, and Aisling, I hope you can do some of these as well. Now, I'm going to have a pillow, and I'd advise a cushion underneath your head. And then what's quite nice is 2 cushions or pillows for underneath your knees. You're going to bend your knees and come into what's known as Tsukasana, the cobbler pose, but lying down. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to lie down, 1 cushion, and grab your cushions. You've got time, don't worry. 1 for underneath your head or a pillow, so that's fine. And then 1 under each bent knee. Bring the soles of the feet together if you can. So rest your head, on your cushion, and then a couple of cushions underneath. Can you see my soles of my feet are together, knees bent, and just allow your knees to rest on the cushions. You might need more than 1 cushion, and that's fine underneath the knees. And then your palms turned uppermost, chin tucked in. And this is great. This really releases here, our hip region and our pelvic region, okay? Now this gets tight when we do a lot of sitting. So we're releasing tension. We're a little bit closer to the earth, so it's calming for our thoughts. And we're going to make sure our chin is tucked in, palms facing the ceiling, arms away from the body. And if you wish to, you can now close the eyes, yogis. We're going to take at least 8 slow breaths here together, just to settle into the pose. So if you need more cushions underneath your bent knees, that's fine. You've brought the soles of the feet together, knees nice and open, chin tucked in, head supported by a cushion, palms facing the ceiling. And just allow yourself to sink down, opening the front of the body, releasing tension in your thighs, in your groin area, your pelvis and hips. And just enjoy at least another 5 slow breaths for me if you can. You can obviously have your mouth open or closed. You can have your eyes closed or open. Just make sure that you take another 5 slow breaths. Breathing into the front of your body as it opens. And take your time with those breaths, yogis. Don't feel you have to rush them. Have as many pillows, as I said, or cushions underneath your bent knees. You've brought the soles of the feet together, knees nice and open. And our chest is lovely and open, so we can just enjoy breathing deeply. And this just, as I say, softens all your pelvic area, all this area that gets tight when we do a lot of sitting. Just enjoy 2 more deep breaths with me if you can. Take 2 more slow breaths in your own time. Okay, yogis. Now, if we had time, we'd stay in here a lot longer. And I can tell you that staying here for 5 or 10 minutes is so soothing, it really is. But in order for us to get all the practice in, we're going to now come out of it. It gives you a flavour, doesn't it, of that nice gentle opening for your thighs, your chest, your hip region. Just take your hands now underneath your bent knees and very carefully bring the knees together. Hug them into the chest. And then it's quite nice just to rock gently to ease out any kinks in the spine. Now, while we're here, we're going to do a little bit of an opening in our joints as well. The major joints that we use for sitting and writing, okay? So I want you to raise the legs if you can. Keep the knees slightly bent like me, feet apart, and then make 2 loose fists with your hands and start to make little circles with your wrists and ankles. This is called the happy baby bear pose, and we often do this. But what it's really good for is removing stiffness in the joints of your wrists and your ankles. Just little rotations. And then don't forget to go in the opposite direction, sort of between 8 and 10 little rotations. Untie any knots that you may have in your wrists and your shoulders. in your ankle joints. It's really lovely for soothing out tight joints. And then I want you to stretch and open the fingers. See if you can do the same with the feet. Relax them. Stretch and open fingers and toes. Give them a wiggle. Once more, stretch, open and wiggle the toes and fingers. And then hug the knees in and rock again. And that's just looking after our joints, particularly if you do a lot of keyboard work or a lot of writing, and I'm sure you have, but also to remove stiffness if you've done a lot of sitting in the ankles. Okay, now we remain lying down. We're going to stretch the left leg out on the floor, keep its length along if you can, and just take your hands underneath either the thigh or hold on to the knee or thigh of the right leg. Now I'm going to peel my sock off, but you don't have to. If your leg isn't straight, don't worry, don't force that. I want you just to look towards your toes and flex them backwards and forwards. And that again is stretching the entire foot. So if you've done a lot of sitting today, Ashley, try not to maybe do this if your ankle hurts. But if you can, guys, just a little flexion there. Now hold on to the back of the leg. Keep the foot still now. We're going to work our abdominals, but we're also going to work at strengthening the neck. So we're going to inhale and bring the nose to the knee. Exhale, we take the head down. Leave the leg raised. 4 of those. Breathing in, bring the nose towards the knee. Try and keep the opposite leg as straight as you comfortably can. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, nose to knee. Exhale, release. Once more if you can. Inhale, nose to knee. Don't worry about not coming up too far. Just enjoying the stretch. Exhale. And then hug the knee in and hold that. So this time, with the left leg, imagine pushing that left foot against an imaginary wall as you hug the right knee in. That's it. Okay, now we're going to stretch the groin area again. So what you're going to now do is turn your right knee slightly out, hold on to the outside of the right foot with your right hand and leave your left hand on the floor by your left thigh. Now I want you to imagine that your right heel is like a pencil, and I want you to draw a low, lazy figure of 8 across the groin with the whole of the right heel, as if you're trying to draw a low, lazy figure of 8 across the groin with the whole of your right heel. That's it. Go nice and slowly. Take a couple of deep breaths. Don't worry if you can't draw much of a figure of 8. Again, what it's doing is removing tightness and stiffness in your hip. And then carefully hug the knee in, stretch it out, and release it carefully down to the floor. Now let that right heel completely flop. Just rock it backwards and forwards. Notice if it feels a bit more open or if the leg feels more stretched. Hopefully it does. But don't worry if it doesn't yet. We're going to do the left side. So I'm going to peel off my sock. You can keep yours on, yogis. Bend the left knee. Raise that leg towards the ceiling. Hold on to the back of the left leg, either the thigh or the knee, or above the knee ideally, just by this sort of thigh region or calf. And just start to flex that left foot. So now the right foot is stretched on the floor and we're raising and working into our left leg. If you're tight here, don't worry. Our hamstrings often are. Just a little flexion in the foot. Again, if that's sore, leave that one out. And then we're going to draw the leg towards us. Again, it doesn't matter if this leg is bent. Now we're going to work our neck and the abdominals. So we're going to inhale, nose to knee. Just come up as high as you can. Don't worry if it's not very far. Exhale down. We do 3 more. Breathing in, nose to knee. Breathing out, lowering. Inhale, nose to knee. Relax the shoulders. Exhale down once more if you can. Breathing in, nose to knee. Exhale, lower. Well done. And then just take another deep breath in and out. The longer you can hold the poses, the deeper the better. Now we're going to work the left hip, so we bend the knee. We turn the foot out slightly. We hold onto the top of the foot with the left hand. The right hand just rests on the floor by your right thigh. And do you remember we're going to sort of imagine or visualize that we've got this pencil on the end of the heel, and we're trying to draw a low, lazy figure of 8 across the whole groin. What you may find is that one hip feels tighter and one side may naturally feel looser. So don't strain. It can be a really small figure of 8. Keep it low, keep it lazy. Just a great way to untie the knots and the tightness that we might feel in our hips if we've done a lot of sitting this week, a lot of studying, a lot of exams. Lovely. And then hug it in again, reach it up and release it down. Now let both heels just flop, zigzag them in and out, that's it, flop them in and out the ankles. And just notice if you feel a little looser in your hip region, maybe the legs feel a bit more stretched as well. Now, that's 2 poses. The next one that we're going to do, we come up and we're going to use a cushion and we're going to come into a version of pose of child. So if you can, we're going to sit on our heels, but our knees are nice and open. So this opens our hips nicely. Grab as many cushions as you want for your head. We're going to make sure our nose is clear so we can breathe. And you're going to rest your head on a nice big cushion. I've got 2 here. And we're going to make a pillow with our hands as well. So just hold on to alternate elbows, a cushion for your forehead, and then rest your forehead on the cushions and your elbows, but make sure that your nose is free. And this is lovely. I'm just having a look at what it says. It says, rest your head on your hands or a bolster or cushion in front of you. And we allow our torso just to rest on our thighs, our knees about hip width apart. We'll take 5 deep breaths here, yogis. Nice, long, even breaths. You don't have to rush, yogis, just take your time. Brilliant. And then calming up. We may finish with that pose because it's really nice if you've got bolsters or cushions that you rest your forehead as well. And the reason we have our knees open is to soften the hips a little bit and our belly can be nice and soft. Okay, let's move the cushions for a moment. Now we're going to come into a stronger stretch. So I'm going to show you this sort of from the side really. What I'm going to do is bend my right knee, so my leg's extended, bend my right knee and bring the sole of the foot to rest on what we call the inner left thigh, okay? And so that's my right leg. I think I'm better turning the other way for you. So left leg is extended, right knee bent, and again, by all means have a cushion underneath that bent knee if that feels more comfortable. You're going to take your right hand down towards your left foot, okay? So the right hand down towards either left foot or left thigh. In fact, just rest it on the leg wherever you can. Don't strain and struggle to get towards the feet if that's too strong. With your left arm, you take it up. And I want you to twist and look behind you towards that raised left arm behind you, gazing towards it gently. Don't worry if you can't hold on to the foot. We've got the right knee bent, so we're opening into our hip. We've got our hand to our left knee, and we're twisting towards our left. And take the arm quite high as you twist to get the stretch in the side ribs as well. And we hold that for 4 breaths. Doesn't matter how far you've twisted, make sure you're comfortable. Have a go. Breathing in, breathing out. Even if you're here and you're sitting quite upright, that's fantastic because you're twisting, you're opening your right knee, you're working that hip, but you're getting a delicious stretch. Hold and breathe. Okay, yogis, let's inhale together. Exhale, twisting back to the center and relax. We're going to switch sides. So carefully raise the right knee, have a hand underneath the right knee as you bring it in, and carefully stretch. Now I'm going to take my cushion to the left side, bend my left knee, so the sole of the left foot rests on the inner right calf, or even up towards my thigh. And again, a cushion underneath the bent left knee. It's a great idea, particularly if you've got sore knees, but also just to soften that area. So we turn this way, just so you can see the pose. So we're going to twist to our right. We're going to take our left hand, rest it on our right thigh or our right calf, just below the knee, or towards the foot if you can without straining. And then we're going to twist and take the right arm up behind us, keep it in alignment with that shoulder, and gaze behind us. And you may find one side much easier to stretch to than the other. Don't worry, that's completely normal. But as you twist and gaze towards that right thumb or behind you, aim to sit with as tall a spine as you can, and make sure the bent left knee is comfortable under a cushion or bolster, ideally. Let's hold for those 4 breaths, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you can't twist as far, don't strain. Just remember that our left and right may feel quite different, even in the twist, so take good care. One more deep breath in, and we use that exhalation to come back. Well done. Hand underneath the bent knee, lift it carefully before you straighten, and then sit back and just shake it out. Zigzag the feet in, give a little shake, and relax. Well done. And that's great because we've worked our knee, our hip, and our spine in that twist. Okay, yogis, let's just take it wide, okay? This is great, again, this area. It's hidden, okay? Our inner groin, our hip area, all the way down to our inner ankle is an area that's hidden. And so it can become very tight when we start to work it. So go gently. I want you to take your legs as wide apart as you comfortably can. And again, just listen to your hips, don't overstrain. And then flex the toes towards you. And imagine trying to push the backs of the knees into the earth, almost like the knees, the top of the knees want to point up towards the ceiling. Try not to let those legs roll in if you can help it. Now, what you could do is have lots of cushions again in front of you. This is worth trying at home with pillows. Yeah, as many as you want. I've got 4 there. And we're just going to hang out. We're going to rest our forehead here. We're going to get this lovely stretch in our legs and our spine as well. In fact, so are the arms stretching, so all the major limbs in the body are receiving a stretch. The one thing you don't want to, or want to avoid rather, is don't let the legs roll in, flex the toes towards you, but above all, just enjoy the stretch. And as I fold forwards, I'm going to again rest my hands on my cushions, my forehead on these cushions. I'm going to have that one there because it's a little bit better. And let's hang out here. Let's rest our head. Go for 8 breaths, okay? Because the longer you can stay in this pose, again, the deeper the benefits. And this is great if you've done a lot of sitting today, had to do a lot of reading, or just generally, a lot of studying. It's a way, again, of calming the nerves, quietening the body. Here we go. So rest the head on your cushions, yogis. Relax your shoulders. Keep the feet flexed as best you can and enjoy another 5 slow breaths here. Okay, yogis, raise the head whenever you're ready. Come up slowly. Just take a moment to relax there. It's such a soothing pose. Anything where you're folding forwards, by the way, is said to be very calming and quietening for the mind. So remember, all these poses are great for quietening a busy mind, but also a busy body if you feel agitated or fidgety. These are poses that help us just to really chill out and relax. Okay, we're going to go into a twist now. So we're going to remove all our cushions and blocks. I'm going to chuck mine back on the sofa there. And we'll come into a nice gentle twist, again, just to wring out any tension in the spine. So, just checking time, how are we doing? Brilliant, it's about 7 minutes past. So we're going to do maybe 2 more poses and then go into relaxation, okay? Because I know some of you are tired. Okay, so let's stretch the legs out, sitting tall. We're going to bend the left knee, okay? We start with the left knee, yogis, and bring the heel as close as you can to your buttocks. Allow yourself to sit tall, just hug the knee in, get the spine nice and tall if you can. And what we're going to do is take the left hand behind us, so it acts like an anchor, draw it close to the body, helping to keep the spine tall. Stretch your right hand out and then bend the elbow and bring the elbow, that's the right elbow, to the outside of the left knee. So you've got this lovely sunshiny hand. Hello, hello, you can wave, and that's on the outside of that knee. And then what we can do is just start to twist to the left. So the palm of the right hand facing forwards towards you. Just make sure again that you're sitting tall. And you can always take the hand a little further back if you need to, but try to keep the spine tall. Try not to slump here. Looking gently over the left shoulder. Aim for at least 3 more deep breaths if you can. Now I'm going to inhale here. I'm going to exhale and return back to centre. I'm going to stretch carefully the left leg out. Sit back and just zigzag the feet, relax them, and take a resting breath. I'm going to do the other side now, so I'm going to swivel round. This time I'm going to extend that left leg and bend the right knee. Again, bring the heel of the right foot as close as you can and take the right hand behind me. Sitting tall, I'm going to stretch this time the left arm forwards, bend at the elbow, have the palm of the left hand facing forwards or out rather, and then again, bring that elbow to the outside of that right knee so that you can start to focus on twisting gently and looking over your right shoulder. You don't have to look far. Again, this is a strong twist, so go gently. We're only here for 3 breaths. Aim to just twist very gently. The twist first comes from your belly, then your chest. Finally, it comes from the throat area, or the neck rather. And again, just comfortably breathing in and out. You may notice one side feels a bit tighter, so again, go gently. Let's hold for another deep breath in and out, if you can, yogis, if that's comfortable. We're then going to inhale, we're going to come back, we're going to exhale, release, and we're going to stretch the legs out, sit back, and just shake those legs out. Relax, lean into straight arms, that's it, and just take a resting breath. Well done. Now the last pose is where we're going to actively fold forwards, okay? So, first of all, just lift the buttocks, peel away the flesh from the buttocks, bring your legs together. This is the last pose that we're going to do for quietening our mind. We're going to lengthen the arms upwards, flex the toes towards us, and then we're going to hinge forwards from the hips, slowly, slowly folding down. Now it doesn't matter where your hands go to, whether they're just below the knees, towards the ankles, or perhaps touching the toes, it doesn't matter. The main aim is that you're not straining and struggling. Now with this pose, we're going to hold for a bit longer, maybe 2 minutes. Sounds a long time, but it's probably only about 10 or 12 slow, slow breaths, okay? So, seated forward bend. Let's start to hinge forwards from our hips. Doesn't matter how far you come. If your head doesn't reach your shins, then we can, again, grab those blankets and rest on the top of the legs to act as a headrest, okay? So they're going to act as a headrest. Our arms by our sides, forehead down. I think I need another one. Doesn't matter how many you have, they're resting on your legs. Act as a headrest. And let's take 8 slow breaths, okay? So as many pillows on your legs as you need to act as a headrest. Arms by your sides. Make sure you can breathe and relax. Let's aim for another deep breath in and out here, yogis, if you can. Resting your head on your headrest, on your pillows. Relax the shoulders. Take another deep breath in and out with me if you can. And slowly, slowly calm up and relax. Well done. Now, we are now going to, just again, sit back, shake it out, relax the legs. And we're going to go into relaxation for a good few minutes now, okay? So, if you're a bit chilly, why not put some layers on? Socks, maybe grab another blanket if you're cold, or, you know, put on another fleece. Just make sure you're warm enough for the next few minutes. Now, what I'm going to do is also lie down with you, and I just want you to lie down with me, relax, have something underneath the head. It's really important for this relaxation to make sure you're comfortable. The more comfortable you are, the more you're likely to relax and really, really benefit from it. So join me now in lying down for a few minutes, and then we'll have a little chat afterwards if you wish to. But right now, let's relax together. So we've finished our posture work. All the posture work was about getting closer to the earth, quietening down, and really quietening down a busy mind and body. So join me now, lying down. Now, if you've got a low back issue, if your back's sore, then it's quite nice to keep the knees bent, keep the knees together, but take the feet wider apart. And then you can push the low back into the floor. Lots of people quite like that, and it is more comfortable if you have a low back pain or issue. But if you haven't, then stretch the legs on the floor now. Just lift your head, get into the habit of looking down the body, make sure it's in a relatively straight line, and then again, ideally have something under the head, and maybe even a blanket over the top of you if you need to. Palms facing the ceiling. Excuse me. And tucking the chin in, and then closing the eyes if you wish to. If you wish to, just gently closing the eyes now. And closing the mouth if that's comfortable. So if comfortable, gently closing the mouth. Starting to just breathe, relaxed breath, even breath through your nostrils. Let's just allow that breath to completely relax, and also allowing the whole body to begin to relax as well. I want you to take your awareness to the areas that I
just call out and aim to relax them as much as you comfortably can. Starting with your feet, allow both feet, both ankles to fall out and completely soften now. Relax all of the toes on the right foot, all of the toes on your left foot. Allow both feet to completely relax now. Allow the ankles just to soften and release. Take your awareness to your knees and your hips. Just be aware that we have energized and opened our knees and hips today, and allow your knee joints and your hip joints to soften and release into this supporting floor. Allow your knees and your hips to soften into the earth as you breathe in and gently breathe out. The feet, the ankles, the knees and the hips now all softening and releasing into the floor. The lower half of your body just releasing, relaxing, feeling heavy on the floor. Take your awareness to your hands now, yogis. Relax your thumbs. Relax the four fingers on both hands. Relax the backs of the hands on the floor. Allow your palms and your wrist joints to soften and relax. Hands, fingers, wrist joints, all softening and releasing down. Take the awareness to your elbows now. Allow the elbows to relax. Allow your shoulders to relax. In fact, allow both arms, both hands, the wrists, elbows and shoulder joints to completely relax into the floor. Take a moment to observe your breathing. Shift your attention, yogis, to your belly. Notice as you inhale how the belly rises and gently falls as you breathe out. Simply be aware of the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and breathe out. Allow the breath at the belly to relax. Allow the breath at the belly to relax. Now let's shift the awareness to the face. Just allow your jaw to soften from ear to ear. Allow your tongue to relax in the lower part of your mouth. And allow your eyes to remain closed as they rest in the deep sockets of your skull. Even the facial features, nose, eyes, lips and cheeks, all softening as you breathe in and gently breathe out. Whole face softening, whole body relaxing now as you breathe in and gently breathe out. Simply become aware of a very quiet and a very still body now. Apart from this movement of the breath, the body is relatively still and quiet. Dwell in this stillness for just another minute. allowing the breath to breathe itself, allowing the body to rest, allowing the mind to be quiet and still. Join me in taking another 5 slow breaths, yogis. Inhaling, exhaling gently. And don't rush those breaths, take your time. Simply be aware of the breath and the stillness of the body. Quiet, steady breath and the stillness of the body. Dwell here for a little longer, enjoying your relaxation and the peace, the overall peace that you have achieved. Now when you're ready, but only when you're ready, just start to become aware of your surroundings again and of the fact that you're lying quiet and still on your mat, on the floor. Choosing to become aware of the air around you, the fabric touching your skin, just becoming aware of those sensations. And gently becoming aware of the light behind your closed eyes. Starting to think about, once more, moving your fingers and your toes, yogis. Give them an affectionate little wiggle and stretch into fingers and toes. And if you wish to, starting to think about stretching the arms overhead, bring the legs together, flex the toes towards you and push the heels away. Stretching the arms overhead, stretching and breathing, stretching into the whole body, breathing into this whole body now, whole body. Now when you're ready, open the eyes, bend the knees and hug those knees into the chest again. Give yourself a minute just to come back. Welcome back, yogis. And when you're ready, just come to the side, roll over, come up to sitting, grab your cushion if you need to, and let's close our practice together. Give yourself a moment to come up, adjusting back to the room, the light. Just take a moment to notice how you now feel. And then deep breath in. Let's gather all that lovely energy and bring it down to the heart space. Take a moment to wish yourself well. And go well. Om Shanti, peace.